let's get to the news.
Good evening, Mr. Mr. North South American. All the ships and clippers at sea. Let's go to press. Flow.
Okay, I saw an article this week about how big our hobby has become. It is reported that Wizards of the Coast, makers of Magic the Gathering and Dungeons and Dragons, actually makes up 75% of Hasbro's profits. So when you think about Hasbro, like maybe biggest toy manufacturer in the United States, that's actually 75% of it is Wizards of the Coast, Magic the Gathering, and D&D. So the toy company only makes about 25% of its income from toys. So why am I talking about this? I'm just kind of like, we have this hobby, but it keeps growing. And I think if you're looking at like the history of gaming over the last couple of decades, like Magic the Gathering has loomed incredibly large. And it's also like, it's the thing that has kept a lot of brick and mortar stores alive because it is the revenue stream that they can count on, and it makes a huge that's a huge portion of brick and mortar businesses' actual sales is Magic. Did you ever do Magic the Gathering?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. And there's those like tournaments that they do, and like where you get like they do drafts, and like you got to buy a random pack, and they've made that a lifestyle. They made it a hobby, and so people just love getting new stuff, even though they have the cards. They just that'll help keep them alive.
Right. That in itself is a good game. I was part of, I'm still part of part of an LA playtesting group, and we would go to Game Empire in Pasadena, which is now rebranding as I think Game Odyssey. It's reopening soon, but it's out by Pasadena Community College. And like we would do our playtesting out there, but we always had to fit around Magic. Like Magic was clearly like the priority because like that's where all their businesses. But anyway, just kind of this really resonated for me that like gamer culture is now like the culture. It's kind of like how Marvel and Star Wars, it's not fringe anymore. Like gamer culture and nerd culture is the culture in the United States. And this just seemed like a good example of that. You've got, Post Malone buying thousands of dollars of Magic the Gathering singles. Like I asked Jenny, my girlfriend Jenny, is like, did you know that Post Malone plays Magic the Gathering? And she's like, yeah, everybody knows that.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that. No, but she knows Post Malone. She's worked on a couple of commercials that he's been in. You've got like another thing was like, see, Jeff Goldblum is a regular on a D&D podcast called Dark Dice.
Right.
So we've arrived, Jesse.
Nerds take it back.
In other news, Gale Force 9 will re-release Tyrants of the Underdark 2nd edition. This is a D&D board game. They're re-releasing it in the last half of 2021. So this is a game about drow leaders battling against each other to gain control of the Underdark. And it was designed by the same duo, Peter Lee and Rodney Thompson, that created Lords of Waterdeep. And this includes the Aberrations and Undead expansion, and it is available for pre-order now. I haven't played this. Did you ever play Lords of Waterdeep?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I like that a lot better than I thought it would. And it's kind of been a important game for kind of, I feel like, sucking in D&D players into the board game hobby. I know there's a lot of overlap there anyway, but like it's been a good game for kind of like bridging those two parts of the hobby. And I think this is also kind of like a model that we've seen some games do now. Like you'll see this on Kickstarter where like games have been out before, people missed the first time a game got printed. Maybe there's been an expansion. Let's put it all into one box now with the expansions and re-release it. And that kind of appears to be what's happening here.
Yep. Good point.
All right. In other news or news that's important to TREY, Gen Con released a safety update about a week ago in which they kind of updated people. So people that normally go to Gen Con are thinking about going to Gen Con, still don't know exactly the details of some of the stuff. They have a date. They have a date in which they're doing Gen Con. But they're sending out this safety and health update right now, kind of reassuring people, saying that the convention center has spent $7 million in safety upgrades with new protocols on cleaning and sanitization. But they're also going to cap. They're going to cap Gen Con to either 30,000 or 40,000 people. So they're not going to use Lucas Oil Stadium. Like, one of the cool things about going to Gen Con in the past is like some of the events are actually like on the football field where the Colts play.
Oh, wow.
But it's not going to be big enough to do that this year. And they're also going to close the convention center every night to do a thorough cleaning and to do disinfection protocols. And so that's a pretty big change in that, like, these big conventions usually have like people in the convention halls 24 hours a day. Like, you would find people gaming there all night in the halls, playing werewolf or other things. And now they're not going to do that. And they're also go ahead.
I feel like cleaning it overnight. Well, that's interesting. Okay, great. But what about the issue of 6 feet?
Right.
That's the main situation. You're like, well, we're not going to have. It's not going to be as big now. It's not going to be in the stadium. It's like, well, that's too bad. Like, we need more open space. So we can spread people out. But I understand it's not going to be enough money, not enough revenue coming in. So because there's going to be less people, they're going to confine it more.
No, I'm really sympathetic to what they're trying to make it happen. And like, I don't know if I'm going to go. I think a lot of people that normally go are kind of facing that decision. Like, when I think about some of the like big images of Gen Con, like one of the main ones is like people lining up Thursday morning for those dealer hall doors to open, and you are shoulder to shoulder with thousands of people, and then they open the doors and there's a cattle crush to get through the doors, and then you're in the convention hall where again you're shoulder to shoulder with people, thousands of people looking at different items, getting whacked in the face by people's backpacks. Like, that's just not going to work. Or maybe it will. Like, I mean, I guess if vaccinations and everything happen, like, one of the things they said it is unclear whether proof of vaccination will be required in large scale events like Gen Con yet. So they haven't made that call.
Wow, that's interesting.
And so, it's a tricky question. Of like, I think that like proof of vaccination would make me more likely to go, but I also know that like that's like having proof of vaccination is going to upset a lot of people.
Yeah. And how would they enforce that? Is it like beforehand? Is it like you got to have your card with you laminated and show them? Oh my goodness, that's a tough
my
one.
proof of vaccination is digital. Like, I've got a QR code on my phone now that through Carbon Health.
Right. How do you? Where's the watermark, or like where's that little strip of the show authenticity? Like that can be doctored so easily.
You haven't gotten the tattoo yet? So I haven't made a decision about whether I'm going yet. I'll probably make it last second, but I have decided, like, I'm not running an event. Like, Tom and I have run LARP events at Gen Con in the past, and this is just too uncertain this year to plan for.
Any word on our local convention, Strategicon?
I think so, but I think it's going digital. I think they did postpone the May one. It's not going to be in person.
It's going digital.
Yeah, and I don't know what that means. I will put a link in the show notes of the actual Strategicon status, because I don't want to say anything definitive here. If you want to find out, go to the show notes, click on the links. Okay, final bit of news here. Alien: Fate of the Nostromo. This is a cooperative game from Ravensburger. It's coming this summer, August 1st. So this is Alien. This is, cooperative game, Alien, the movie. Real cool minis. They were able to use the likenesses of the actors from the movie. And this is designed by Scott Rogers, who people may know from the Ludology podcast. You may know him from designer of Ray Guns and Rocket Ships and Pantone, the game. He's a Southern California guy. I've, had a couple dealings with him down at the USC Game School. So looking forward to this. I know there have been other Alien style games before.
Yeah, Legendary Encounters, right?
That one, and there's like Nemesis one as well, something like that.
Yeah. I've been wanting to play that one. I've heard good things.
I don't think this is a hidden traitor game, though. I think this is you just cooperate to defeat the alien, but I could be wrong about that. But anyway, available. It's coming August 1st. It will be something to check out.
Hey, if you enjoyed that video, you very well might enjoy the other videos you now see being suggested to you on screen. Also, we'd greatly appreciate it if you could like, share, or subscribe to our Game Brain channel. Thanks so much.